Grab a drink and join the chat. Are you living your first-class life? Come chat with me.
Hello, hello. How are you doing this evening? Welcome to another edition of First Class Life Chats with Lindsay Vertner. And I'm super excited because if you tuned in yesterday, then you know that we are kicking our First Class Life anthology series, book series off this week. And so yesterday I got to talk with Miss Carmen Vertner, the youngest co-author of this series. I got to talk with Kamika Henson, who shares her weight loss and fertility journeys. And I also got to talk with Tiffany Shoemaker, who shares about finding herself after an abusive relationship. And I'm super excited because tonight I have some more authors in this phenomenal anthology series, First Class Life, 10 empowering lessons to help you create a life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness. So make sure that you are tuned in so that you can get your special deal on Thursday and then purchase your autographed copy. And so with that said, I just want to bring up these authors and have them introduce themselves. First up, we have Miss Michelle James. And we also have Miss Larry Jo Hatcher. And Shay Ann Langford was supposed to be joining us tonight, but she got called into work. So hopefully if she gets a break, she'll be able to hop on very quickly and share a little bit about her chapter. But meanwhile, welcome, ladies. How are you?
Wonderful.
So exciting.
Yeah. Woo, woo, woo. So, Michelle, why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, my name is Michelle James, and I am a women's wellness educator, certified makeup artist, and transformational speaker. So I find my niche to be making people, and especially women, feel as good on the inside as they want to look on the outside.
Nice. Making women feel as good on the inside as they are on the outside. I love it. And then we have Miss Larry Jo Hatcher. Introduce yourselves to the world.
Hi, I'm Larry Jo Hatcher. I am the CEO and owner of The Gift Studio, LLC, where I create one-of-a-kind floral pieces for any and every event. I am a motivational speaker. I am an infant grief support advocate. I'm the founder of Elias Wings, which is my nonprofit organization helping individuals with infant loss due to miscarriage and stillborn births.
Nice. If you are just tuning in, make sure you let us know where you're viewing or listening to down in the comments. Let us know you're here. And if you're watching this live, then comment all the way live. And if you're catching the replay later on, comment replay all day, okay? And then let us know that you're going to get your copy. Say, I'm getting my copy on Thursday, okay? Thursday and Friday are the dates to save. And so, listen, I just have to have you ladies share, and summarize what is your chapter all about. And we will start with Miss Michelle. I'm going to let you have the big screen for a moment and tell us, what is your chapter about? Summarize it for us.
So I would say that my chapter is about really finding yourself, falling in love with yourself, and honing yourself. I was what some would consider high functioning depression. And it was a very difficult time. And so this chapter is all about finding myself through that journey and how I came out on the other side.
Yes, yes. Oftentimes, when we think of depression, we think of sitting up in our rooms, crying for days on end, not talking, not eating with the lights out, and it's completely dark, and we can't function at all. And a lot of people don't realize that you yourself might be a high functioning depressive person and not even realize it, because as you will find out when you read Michelle's story, she had it all going for her, what it appeared on the outside, but on the inside, she was hurting. And so definitely make sure that you pick it up and read her chapter. And now, Miss Larry Joe, come on and give us a summary of what your chapter is about.
Well, I am a infant grief support advocate because I lost my child due to stillborn birth. And it is hopefully going to reach the masses of women and men, children, family members that suffer with stillborn or miscarriages. It is to let one know that you don't have to blame yourself. You don't have to be full of guilt, or you don't have to be full of anger for a long period of time. There's a time and a season for everything. So there is a time to grieve, but then there's a time where you have to get up from the ashes, and you have to wash your face, and you have to put on clothes, and you have to come out so that everyone can see that it is not a hopeless situation.
I love that. There is a time to grieve, but then there's a time to get up from the ashes. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing. And listen, for those that aren't aware of what a first class life is, let me just fill you in, because it's not about how much money you have. When you are living your first class life, you are walking fully in your purpose. You are unapologetic about who you are, flaws and all. You are bold and confident in who you are and what you bring to the table. When you are walking in your first class life, you are shedding the mask of fear, shedding the mask of doubt. You're shedding the mask of pretending to be something that you're not to appease other people and reach their expectations. When you're living your first class life, you are true to who you are and know that you are here for a purpose, and you're making an impact, not only for yourself, but for everyone that's connected to you. And here's the thing, when you're living your first class life, you are intentional about the life that you create for yourself. That means you are intentional about creating a life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness. And that's exactly what this book is about. 10 empowering stories, empowering lessons to help you create a life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness. Because when you're living
Yes.
your first class life, that doesn't mean that you won't have bad days. We're only human. We all have those bad days. There will be obstacles and struggles along the way, but how you pick yourself up and get out of those obstacles and get over those struggles and things in your life is what makes the difference between living in that sunken place and truly living a first class life. So, Miss Larry Joe, tell us, how did you come up with the title Push for your chapter?
Well, little did I know, push has been a part of my journey for quite some time. I was in a ministry, and they had push, pray until something happens.
Mm.
And then there were just different situations, especially motivational speaking at different places, I would often say you have to push. And so little did I know that this was going to be a part of the story that would be told about my daughter. And we all know that once you are in the birthing process, there's going to have to be some pain, there's going to have to be some weight, there's going to have to be some setbacks, there's going to have to be some bad news. But at the end of all of it, you're going to have to push in order to deliver.
Yes, yes, yes. Did y'all hear that? You have to keep pushing because, like we keep saying, things are going to happen, and you have to ask yourself, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want the thing that you truly desire? Or do you want to keep sitting in all the suckiness of the obstacle or struggle that you're going through? And when you read Larry Joe's chapter, you are definitely going to see how she pushed forward to get to where she is today. Thank you for sharing. And Miss Michelle, bringing you back to the screen, tell us how you came up with your title and what that means with your chapter.
So, actually, a year ago, I was at retreat, which I am in this wonderful space right now because I was leaving retreat today and had to make this a very necessary stop to enjoy this chat time with you ladies. And so, during the time at retreat, we was, giving some quotes pretty much. And one of the quotes was never not broken. And that really resonated with me because oftentimes we talk about being resilient and, we bend, but we don't break. But what if you do break?
Right.
What if you are broken? And how do you rebuild from that? So even though, we like to put on the mask, of being resilient and having it all together, I had to come to some deep conclusions and some deep realizations that, as resilient as you are broken. But how do we rebuild? Because just the same as you have a broken leg or you have other things that may break. For some of you, it may even be just the phone charger, right? But you find a way to rebuild it and you piece it back together. And oftentimes, even when you get into a car wreck, you may get your car back and you're like, well, this car looked better than it did before it got in the wreck. And so the realization is that you can rebuild even if you are broken. And this chapter really shows you how to do that.
Yes, yes. Are y'all catching this? Make sure you follow us, okay? Follow myself, follow these ladies, follow these amazing co-authors. Let me just give y'all a little look-see look, okay? Okay. Let me put it up on the screen for you. Right now, you are talking with Miss Larry Jo Hatcher, whose chapter is called Push. And you just heard from Michelle James, whose chapter is called Never Not Broken. And we were due to have Miss Shay Ann Langford on the line, whose chapter is called String Your Kite. But unfortunately, she got called into work. And when duty calls, but she is here in spirit and we will hold it down in her name. But just look at some of these amazing co-authors. Just look at them. Look at them. Take a screenshot of the screen and woo, yes, because their stories are phenomenal. And you are most definitely going to connect with at least one, if not many, of the stories that are in this book, okay? First Class Life, 10 empowering lessons to help you create a life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness. So make sure that you are following these phenomenal women so that you can get your special deal this Thursday, October 22nd. Yes, yes. And that you can know how to order your autographed copy. Okay. So here I am with the co-authors. I see a lot of comments coming in. Melissa says, yes. Cynthia says, congratulations to all. Tiffany Shoemaker, one of our co-authors, says, ladies, you both are amazing. Olivia says, never not broken. Thank you, Michelle James. And Kamika says, yes. I'm super, super proud of the journey that these ladies have endured. When I say they have been through everything together since January 2020, they have definitely been through so many things. Not only do they write about it in their chapters, but they live it in their lives, overcoming those obstacles to create a first class life. So, ladies, what would you say is an insight or a tip that you can share from your chapter? And we will start with Michelle.
Mm. Inside tip is getting real with yourself. I think that's one of the hardest things at times, like when you have to get real with yourself and realize what you have gotten yourself into. It's about boundaries that we have not set for ourselves or with, the people around us. And so I think that once we first accept the fact that you got to get real with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
it really puts you on the journey. That's like where it starts, coming into that realization. And so once you're ready to get real with yourself and you really make that decision, I feel so confident that this book, First Class Life, is really going to help them on that journey. The fact that they're even, listening and tuning in with us right now, they're already on that journey. And so this right here is just that guidelines because there's so many people out there who really want to go to amazing places, but they're unsure of where to start because society is not really giving that roadmap. They're telling you all the time, you have greatness in you, but they are not really creating the roadmap to help us to discover that greatness that we have within us. And so I
Mm-hmm.
think that, all of these stories is really going to hit home for a lot of people. And it's not just one story, but the culmination of them all. You will definitely be on your way to living a first class life.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I love that. I hope y'all catching it. And if not, go back and watch the replay. And then on Thursday, make
Yay.
sure that you are in tune with these ladies so that you can figure out how you can get your copy this Thursday and Friday. Save the dates, okay? And so, Miss Larry Joe, please give us an insight or a tip from your chapter.
I think Michelle kind of summed it up, but I will add a little bit to that by saying you have to forgive yourself too.
Mm,
You're going to make bad choices. You're going to make some choices that are not for your journey, but you have to forgive yourself so that you're able to be available to be changed. You have to be available for change. You have to change your mindset. You have to change uh, the trajectory of your life. You have to be motivated to hear and listen and be quiet. Um, but most of all, in order to live that first class life, you have to stop, drop, and roll. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to run. You got to know when to walk away. And you just have to know that. You got to know when it's right for you. You can change your whole life situation and circumstances by the mindset change, by having that attitude of gratitude and thankfulness for coming out of situations that should have taken your mind, that
mm,
should have caused you to um, commit suicide. But, you know, you don't have to do those things. You can just stop right where you are, forgive yourself, and then God will do the rest. And so that's a little bit of it's not the part, but it's a little bit of
yes.
it.
And if you want the rest of it, then you definitely
You
have
gotta,
to make sure you get your
right.
copy.
Yeah.
Let me get it. Oh, here we go. Blah, blah, maybe, possibly. 10
Yes.
empowering lessons to help you create a life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness. And as you can already see, the women in this book are phenomenal. They have phenomenal stories. Everything from abusive relationships, from finding the courage to say yes to yourself for once, because oftentimes as women, we are being everything for all the people all the time. And usually it's to a detriment to ourselves. And so I am just super excited for this book to get into your hands. Make sure you tell your family, your friends, everything. Jennifer says, I love that. Forgiving yourself is so important. Thanks, Larry Hatcher.
You're welcome.
Yeah, yes. And I will share a little bit about my chapter, which is called The 2020 Vision of Your Mind. And in it, I discuss a wreck that I was in 2007 where I was pronounced brain dead and paralyzed, and how that journey and that process led me to where I am today. And ultimately finding my purpose, because there's always purpose in your pain, but it's up to you to figure out what that purpose is. And here's the thing, you have to give your pain permission to evolve into your purpose. And it's all about being intentional amongst many other factors, but that is the factor that I focus on in my chapter. And so I'm super excited for the world to hear the story of these phenomenal women. Olivia says, I can't wait to get the
To get the
book.
book.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
And keep an eye on these
Yes,
on
Yes.
Thursday and
yes.
Friday. Renette says, God is the key. Thank you, Larry J. Yes, yes, yes. And so, ladies, tell us over this journey, because these ladies in this book have been working closely together since January 2020. They have overcome COVID. They have overcome
Yes.
financial struggles. They have overcome
Yes.
birth struggles. They have literally overcame so many things,
Yes. Yes.
emotionally, physically, metaphorically. They've literally even survived a hurricane together, a real one,
Yes.
not a metaphor, a real
Yes. A real
one.
Hop
one.
up.
Say there have been
Hop up.
so many factors in trying to hold the ladies back from getting their stories out there. That just goes to show how impactful this book
Mhm.
is going to be on the world, not just their city, not just their state, because they're from all over, but on the entire world, because there have been so many forces trying to break them down and stop them from getting this story out. So, ladies, what would you say has been your biggest growth moment, or insight for your personal development on this journey in creating your chapter and telling your story for this book?
Well, I could jump in there.
Okay.
For me, for me, it was the vulnerability of finally sharing the story. Like I mentioned, so many people, they're looking at you, they're expecting you, they're counting on you to have it all together. And so to, share that, because oftentimes we think about, they're going to think this and they're going to think that, and then they're going to judge me negatively or inadversely because of some experiences that I had. And I think that that holds us back so much in life, not sharing our story, not letting people know the trials that we have been through, and the fact that we're standing on the other side. Every time we tell that story, we're on the other side. And
Yes.
so we're constantly filled with triumphs, but we're so afraid and so shamed to tell people of the trials that we rarely even really get to share the triumphs. So then we're just kind of like moseying around, like, I mean, I guess I'm doing something. I'm living. Okay, here I am. So I think that that was one of the biggest things for me, realizing like, yeah, I did make it on the other side, but now I have to reach back and tell everybody not just how I did it, but what I was actually going through in order to do it. And that vulnerability, I think, is what holds a lot of people back. And so hopefully with reading this chapter, they will find the courage to move forward and to know that telling your story and being vulnerable with your experiences they're there to grow you, and they are there to help others along the way. So your story is actually not yours. It's somebody else's roadmap. And so we're constantly in our life paving ways to create that trail so that we can make life easier for other people. Because if you can read that, then you might not have to keep wallowing in the circle trying to figure out, how do I figure it out?
Yes, yes, yes. Did you catch that? Your story is somebody else's breakthrough, okay? And so the biggest growth for her was just allowing herself to be vulnerable. And if all of us would do that, we would realize that we're way more alike than we are different. It don't matter your color, don't matter where you came from. We are so connected to one another, and it's important that we share our stories and use our stories to connect with each other and help each other. So thank you for sharing that.
Indeed,
And
fear is a liar.
yeah, okay, it definitely is. It's a thief, a lion, deceiving. It's all kinds of things. Okay,
And we wouldn't accept that from anybody else. We would not accept the lies from anybody else. We cut people off, like, oh, they lied to me. So why is it acceptable for you to keep lying to you? Get real with yourself.
Okay, and that deserves that being. Denise says, thank you, Michelle James, for being open and sharing your story. I'm so excited to read this book. Yes, yes, yes. So make sure that you are following and tuning in this Thursday and Friday so that you and everyone watching can get your copy. Thank you, Michelle. And then Miss Larry Joe, please let us know, what was your biggest growth moment over this journey this past 10 months?
Finishing. Not giving up. Lots of obstacles. Lots. Financial, relationships, hurricane, travel, just, all that in a nutshell. Not to allow the enemy to come to steal, kill, and destroy in my life, to shake the hater off. And so that's what I've done. Wanting to be transparent so that it's not about me anyway. To be transparent so that others are rescued, others are healed. And so I don't care about anybody finding out about what I did, the relationships that I had. I don't care about that. What I care about is that someone will get their breakthrough, that someone will forgive themselves, someone will let God place them in a mighty position that will exceed any and every expectation they have ever had for themselves. And so that's the reason why I decided to be a part of this. There was a time where I wanted to give up. There was a time I even called you and said, I'm throwing in the towel, but God threw the towel back. So I wasn't able to stop. Just like tonight, the audio, it just was one thing after another. And I didn't think that I was going to be able to be a part tonight, but I didn't give up. And I didn't get frustrated like I normally do. So I'm really proud of myself for sticking in there and not giving up.
Yes, yes, yes. Don't give up on, especially not on your dreams, not on your goals, but don't give up on yourself. Okay. Look, see, even then it was like perfect timing. I didn't take her off the screen. Her connection dropped out, but it allowed her to finish speaking. And so we have to know that we are here for a purpose, and we can't allow tech issues or life issues, financial issues, relationship issues, educational issues, whatever issue you got in your life, we cannot allow that to stop us from the things that we're truly destined for, to stop us from the things that we are purposed for. And she's back. Yes. So,
yes. I told you. I didn't give up. I guess he got a little ticked off when I just said,
flesh.
I still dust him off.
Negativity off. That just goes to show how powerful not only her story is, but this book is as a whole. Because let me tell you about these women, right? So Kamika says, you can always call me sis. Yes, I love it. That is another one of the co-authors in this book. And I just want to share with you a little bit about the authors of this book, okay? Because this is not just another book. It's not just another anthology. These women have been working closely together for the past 10 months. This was a whole program, okay? The First Class Life Academy, they have been on group coaching calls. They have had individual coaching calls. They were supposed to have a retreat in Mexico, and as soon as we got there, it was an emergency hurricane evacuation. So they have literally been through ups and downs, highs and lows. It wasn't just about writing the story to be in another book or to be an author. No, this was about making a true impact in the lives of others, and definitely in their own lives. Each of these women that are a part of this book decided to say yes to themselves, not only to create a first-class life for themselves, but also to impact the world. Yeah, I got a glare on there. But you met some of them yesterday. You have met some of them tonight. Let me bring them back on, and you will meet some more of them tomorrow. But if you want to find out about all of them, make sure that you follow these ladies so that you can get your copy this Thursday and Friday. Save the date. Yes, you want to make sure you're showing up on Thursday and Friday because it's two separate things on those days. So make sure that you get your copy, okay? So, ladies, as we wrap up, what is any final advice that you have? And we will start with Miss Larry Joe.
Well, love yourself. Love yourself and buy the book so that you can have the help you need to start the process. Just self-care. Most definitely take care of yourself. Mental health is running rampant. And so you want to make sure that your mind stays crisp, and reading helps with that. So if you would just get our testaments that you can overcome and have a first class life, we would really appreciate it.
Yes. And Miss Michelle, what are your final words for the viewers?
Oh my goodness. I am one of many words at times. Oddly enough, the first thing that popped into my mind, so I have to share it with y'all because it was the first thing. But don't stop, get it, get it.
Don't stop, get it, get it.
Don't stop,
I like that. Hey, that ought to be our theme song. Don't stop, get it, get it.
So perhaps, I just aged myself and all of us while we over here grooving to a little bit of this, But yeah, just keep going. This is probably some of the cheapest counseling and therapy that you can get in a binded book, in all actuality. It's definitely coming from first class and first-hand experience. So it's not a matter of like, well, I don't know, because, they really haven't been there. Got you there. Yes, they did.
Yes,
They've been all the way there, okay? And crossed on over. So, that's my last thoughts. And I just like to send a whoosh to all my lovies out there and everybody who is joining in and who's going to watch the replay. Just want to send you all some love, and thank you. We appreciate you all, every single one of you. And thank you so much, Lindsay. We got to sip and chat. That was like manifestation. I've been watching your show, and here we are.
Yeah, right. And now here you are all on it.
Yes.
Yes, we got some more comments coming in over here. Renette says, what a blessing. I know at least 4 of the authors. I can't wait to read your stories. Thanks for sharing and love you all.
Love you too.
For your support. Yes. And listen, I need for all of y'all to set your alarms for Thursday morning, okay? Because we're going to have a special deal for you. Make sure you're paying attention on Thursday morning, October 22nd, right? Yeah. 22nd. And then After that, make sure you get your copy on this Friday. I'm not sharing the website right now because I don't want y'all to go there until Friday. Olivia is
Friday.
all the hearts. Yes, I love it. I love it. And again, let me put this back on the screen so that you can see all of the beautiful co-authors. Again, their stories are going to amaze you. They're going to wow you. You're going to laugh. You're going to cry. You're going to grow. And as Miss Michelle said, this is the cheapest counseling that you can get, okay? Because sometimes we don't do anything because it's overwhelming, or we feel like we don't have the money to invest in therapy or to invest in a coach to elevate us to the next level. But as long as you are taking some action toward your personal growth, then that's what matters. And your first action on this week is to purchase your copy of First Class Life, 10 empowering lessons to create a life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness. I can promise you it is going to touch you in many, many ways. So buy a copy for yourself, buy a copy for your friends
Yes.
and your relatives, okay?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Pay
And
it
with that,
forward.
yes, make sure that you tune in tomorrow night as I connect with 3 more authors and they give you a little taste of their stories in the book. And so I bid you farewell. I end you on this note. Let me put that on there. Good night. I will
Good
see you
night.
Good
tomorrow.
night.